Hello, welcome to King's Guns Nerd TV. I am Doug Hodgson, and
That's
right
right.
here we. Excuse me, I have this.
Okay, go, please.
And this is Justin Marvin, and this is Todd Cotta.
Well, hello. If you notice, these two guys are in wonderful uniforms today because they get to go out and do some
Hey, you could
gun store development day.
say I work for Elite today. I mean, as long as I turn just
We'll,
right.
No,
we'll
you
stitch it
don't-
on there.
you
Don't
don't
worry
work
about
for
it.
Elite.
Thanks for
You
thanks for
don't-
volunteering
no.
that one up.
Yeah.
Gonna go do a little bit of site prep and employee development and a bunch of other stuff today. Gonna go out to the BLM lands and
The joys of
Shoot
working for a
some-
gun store.
long range again. Yeah. And I get to stay here all by my lonesome.
You'll be okay.
But I got Jen with me today, so we're good. Oh, we're good.
She'll keep you in line.
Part of the reason why I'm not going today is because I left here at 8 o'clock yesterday morning and I got back at 11 o'clock last night going to Sacramento. Went up with the NSSF to go meet with Senator Hill in Sacramento. He is the Silicon Valley representative. And every year he has a contest on his little webpage that says, wouldn't it be great if what kind of law can we pass? And apparently, from 2015 to 2016, the amount of front door smashes with cars doubled for gun stores. So they would crush through, and two of them were in his district. And nobody likes front door car smashes. Nobody likes the theft of guns. I mean, who can say that that's a good thing, correct? But we went to say, wait a minute. He's trying to pass a law that says if you have a door, you got to have at least two concrete pillars in front of the doors so cars can't ram through it. Well, I was sitting right next to Bass Pro Shops yesterday. How many doors are in a Bass Pro Shop? Outside doors?
A lot.
How many doors are big enough to fit small yachts through?
A lot.
It would take away their boating business because they have guns in the same building. The way the law was written, everybody would have to comply. And the guy was really nice. But the minute we brought up, you know what's funny is you've doubled your crime in the last 2 years. What else at the same time's happened in those last 2 years? Oh yeah, AB 109, Prop 47, and Prop 57. And the minute you bring up Prop 47 or 57, his assistant sat up and goes, well, that was the vote of the people, that wasn't us.
Pushed by them.
But the people said it, not us. So they're automatically shifting the blame now
Of course.
to the people.
Of course they are.
And now causing us to have more restrictions and what's the word I'm looking for? Oversight, regulation.
Yeah.
The just strange the way that works over there. They let the prisoners go, and now they're blaming us for the theft of guns.
It's interesting.
When they make, and then remember in January we got audited by DOJ, and she was a really nice lady, but she made us do things because our gun cases weren't to California code. Because they weren't steel, they weren't fireproof, they weren't this, they didn't have 7,000 combinations, all this stuff, right? If they task the DOJ inspectors with this new rule of having all these concrete things around the buildings and stuff like that, they're going to be the exact same way. We have an elevated floor here. We're 2.5 feet above our parking lot level, plus we have a big entry, plus we have steps, plus we have a planter box outside of the steps. There's no way somebody can get a car and ram our door hard enough to knock it all the way through. Unless they maybe, okay, if they got, what's those monster trucks, Bigfoot or whatever, they might be able to hit it high enough and hard enough to do something. But there's just no way. But yet they would still say, well, but the law says you got to have it. Even though I have handicap ramps that are 2.5 feet high, solid concrete in front of every one of my exterior doors. Oh no, but you got to have it. I was like, really? what do you do, you know? They continually try and shift the blame for what they're doing up in Sacramento to us.
It's their agenda. Just like blaming the guns for everything.
And, you know, I want to help you guys, you know, but we really got to stop these thefts. Well, then stop releasing the inmates.
All this was just a public thing for them up in Sacramento area. He's still going to go back and do what he's going to do.
He promised us that he would consider our comments.
Politician, promises, politician. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I can guarantee you he's still going to push his agenda. He just did lip service. That way he can say that he talked to everybody.
It's funny being, and our rep for the NSSF was a nice lady. She knows what she's doing. She knows everybody up there on the Hill. But, you got to be nice. We can't talk about this. We can't talk about that. So we just got to talk about this. This is our one thing we're going to talk about today, but we can't talk about this.
So why are we always being silenced? Why do we feel like we can't say anything?
Well, yeah, but the people voted on that. We didn't do that. The people did. See, they have a way of shifting the blame across there. Now, on the bright side, I got a chance to go to the Sacramento Gun Club yesterday. Some really good people there. Nice range. You know, you got a population there that's, you know, several million people if you include all the suburbs out there and stuff. And beautiful facility. And they gave me a full tour, and it was nice. And what was really nice about that is the Sacramento Gun Club is just across the 50 from my cousin Stacy, where we went to lunch yesterday. I got a chance to see her little baby, and it was just fun. One thing that happened yesterday twice is I got to go to 2 hole-in-the-wall Mexican restaurants yesterday.
You
Good
mean
food.
you got to go to 2 authentic Mexican restaurants? That's what he meant to say. Authentic.
Here we go.
Both times, I'm glad I had my gun with me. Let me put it that way.
Because it makes you just feel safe.
No, confident. Yeah. Yeah, it gives me a power trip.
Perfect.
Yeah. But no, we went and had some lunch with my cousin Stacy. Went and had a meeting. Got a chance to drive down 160 into downtown Sac, which is pretty cool. And then when we got to downtown Sac, trying to find parking was murder. We were there for 2 hours. Cost me $6 to park. From there, jumped on the freeway. It took me 30 minutes to go 10 blocks to get to 80.
I couldn't live in an area like that.
Oh, it was a mess. And then it took me another 30 minutes to get from the on-ramp of I-80 to 99 South because it was just stopped. It just stopped because it was, 4:30 when I got on the freeway, and that's just the crazy hour there, 4:30 to about 6. And then end up right about Elk Grove. It freed up and took off, went down to Lodi and saw my cousin Valerie. And it was nice. It was longer than I had hoped. I didn't get home till 11 o'clock last night, but when I get to this it's called Habanero Hot. It's on the east side of the freeway in kind of the industrial district. And we were sitting there having some chips and talking and stuff. Pretty soon her daughter shows up, which is my, I guess, second cousin now.
Yeah,
Something.
second. Yeah.
And then a little while later her husband shows up. And so the conversation just kept on going and going and going. And it was a lot of fun. Got a chance to catch up with some people. But yeah, I also saw some of my deputies at when we were going through the metal detector. On the other side, it was 4 Fresno County deputies going to do some lobbying for the DSA, and I got a chance to see them and say hi and catch up for just a second. So it was quite a packed day, but man, when you're on the road for 14, 15 hours, you get home and you just fall. Boom.
Yeah.
And I just have a really hard time when they look past the elephant in the room and try and blame us. The 2 stores in his district in Silicon Valley, they got hit last year. He had 2 door rams last year. Both of them had glass and wood cases. You know, the kind of stuff you would buy off of a website or from some IKEA store. And they left their guns inside of glass, even though they had the required bars on the windows and doors. We lock all of our guns up every night. You know,
they do the same thing with jewelry shops. They ram cars through the doors of jewelry shops.
I get it.
But Basically meaning if they want to break in, they're going to do whatever they can to break in.
And you're constitutionally. Oh, well, we couldn't even bring up the Second Amendment yesterday
Why?
because this wasn't a Second Amendment topic. Don't talk about Second Amendment. Yes, I was ordered not to talk about the Second Amendment by NSSF yesterday.
Whose rule was that?
We're not talking about that today. We're talking about security, and we're talking about alarm systems. We're talking about not getting a new law in the books for gun stores or sporting goods stores.
Again, why are we always silenced?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't win.
No.
If you can't talk about something, you can't.
But he did spend some time saying that he does own guns. So all you guys in San Jose, Senator Hill does own handguns and hunting rifles. Just letting you know, he told us that yesterday. And it was funny because he made it sound like in this house he has a gun and then all the rest of his guns are in it. So he has multiple houses. What a privileged guy.
Hopefully he has them stored in gun safes in every one of his houses.
Exactly. You know, fireproof to 7 hours, you know, and bolted to the floor, plus concrete on top, plus you know,
what is
Well,
motion
hopefully
sensors around the thing, and then
pillars in front of all his doors.
laser.
I wonder what his voting record is on all of these anti-gun laws that have been passed.
No, they're not anti-gun laws. They're protecting the citizens of the state law.
They're anti-gun.
Yeah.
Really? My gun protects me.
No, it's the innocent people, not the.
Law enforcement wear guns to protect them.
I get it. I get it.
We should just sit down and have an hour show on this because I have a lot of opinions.
So it was a learning experience for me yesterday. We had a couple gun stores from Vacaville that have some ranges. We had Herb Bauer was with us yesterday, Sporting Goods yesterday.
Did they talk about how the one time someone ran through their wall, not their glass doors?
Yes, we talked about that yesterday. So you,
But that wouldn't have happened if they had pillars.
In front of their doors.
in front of their doors.
Right.
Yes. See, that's why we were there. We were telling us that his law was ridiculous, and to try and just make it. Our ultimate goal was to try and we have to have a safety program and a security program written down for each store, and what we do to mitigate that. We have to have that. That was what we're trying to make the law go to. Just basically on-hand security, like our safety book, but one for security also. And sure, we have very important items. And do we need to secure them? Absolutely, we need to secure them. Do we want to lose them? No, we don't want to lose them. We don't want to have to try and do all that, lose all that money and do all that stuff. It's just terrible when they think that we are the problem and not the solution.
Yeah, when they work for us.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Well, thank you for putting up with our rant today, or my rant today. But I did learn a lot yesterday, and I wanted to get it out as soon as possible, that he's just trying to help. No, he's not. You're releasing the inmates. You're allowing these laws to pass. And now, when we pay the price for the released inmates, it's our fault now. And that's the problem.
I think from here on out, any new gun law in California does not help.
No.
Does not help. There is no new gun law that can ever come out that would help.
We got inspected in January. We had to put more measures in our place because they didn't like our cases. We all get inspected for our security. So how is that a problem?
It's their ultimate agenda.
When I mentioned what Melissa did and said that our cases have never had a theft yet, compared to the other stores, when I told him that, I said, but they're not California legal because they don't meet all the requirements that the law sets forth. He goes, well, we can change that on this thing.
Yeah, now everyone's going to have these stupid
Exactly. You know, and then of course the guys from Vacaville said, well, but we can't afford those cases.
Right.
Yeah.
And I said, well, yeah, but we're not talking about these cases. We're talking about a Lexan shatterproof glass in your cases. Something that takes more time to get through.
Right.
If you have all these things. If you have all these measures. So I get it, but now it's going to be another thing.
Why don't we just lock up the bad guys and leave them there? And let them know if they commit a crime, they're not getting out.
But they're misunderstood.
Yeah, well.
We really don't understand their plight. We really have to put ourselves in their shoes, and you know, and their 17 kids, and their, you know, all that stuff. Yeah. It's terrible what we've done to them as a society.
Why don't the politicians take them in then, and help them out, and feed them, and try to mentor them?
Maybe Mr. Hill's 2 houses he can keep as a
Right.
halfway house.
I think he should.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting how is he just a public servant?
No, he's a senator.
Well, my point is, though, it's interesting how somebody who is a public servant has that kind of money.
I don't know what he did before, and I don't begrudge him 2 houses, but be careful what you preach. And it's terrible.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, once again, thank you for the morning coffee session today. Thank you for starting it today. It was a great open.
Yeah.
Great open.
I'm learning.
And if you want to subscribe right here, or you can see some of our other videos right over here. And we do appreciate you watching King's Gun Center TV. Have a great day.